been a recurrent BV patient for about 3 or 4 years now, since I was in college, basically. I feel like the emotional toll of BV can be so profound, and it's never talked about. When I first got BV, I was in a relationship, and it was hard to stay positive because I was always so self-conscious and guilty.
Since I went to college, BV has ruled my life. I was constantly going to doctors and urgent cares, and the infections just kept on coming back. I would say I had an overall negative outlook on my health and my future with BV.
I always felt guilty about my odor, and it hurt my self-confidence. After my first episode of BV, I turned to the internet to learn about vaginal hygiene. I tried some of the natural fixes, but those actually made it worse, I learned. But then my OBGYN told me about Prende Health.
The first thing Prende does is it sends you a welcome kit with vaginal pH strips and swabs. And the Prende app has the best articles I have ever found about BV. Now, when I go to my doctor's appointments, I know what questions to ask.
And now I know what is safe and what's not. I stopped using baking soda and oregano oil and started to track my symptoms and vaginal pH so that I could make more informed decisions and figure out what's agitating my BV.
I do have a regular OBGYN, but I still found myself going to the ER countless nights. One night, after 3 nights of barely any sleep, my brother actually drove me to the emergency room because I couldn't take the pain anymore. I knew that it wasn't an emergency, but I can only deal with those symptoms for so long.
But when I joined Prende Health, my perspective completely changed. Now when I track my vaginal pH in Prende, I can literally see patterns appearing, and it's so personalized that for the first time ever, I feel like I truly understand what's going on down there.
For a while, my BV was the most frustrating thing in my life, and now it's not. I started using Prende because I was at a real low with my BV, and I didn't know what to do next. I didn't feel comfortable talking to my friends about it or my husband. And when I found Prende, it seemed like a really inviting and helpful resource for women like me, and it was. I am telling you, it is the best thing. I go for days now, days. Imagine that, without thinking about my vaginal health. And it seems like such a small thing, but it makes so much difference for my quality of life.
One of the first things I learned was that my vaginal pH increases right before my period, which I didn't know before. But now I understand why I sometimes usually get symptoms with my cycle. With Prende, my mind is finally at ease. Now I don't worry about every little symptom I have because I know the patterns behind them. And now I know what to do when I need to go back to my OBGYN. One of the first goals I set in Prende was to use condoms more regularly. Before Prende, I would avoid using condoms because they just felt irritating. But I read an article in Prende that recommended a good brand for my latex allergy, and now I use them. I was ecstatic when I hit that goal.
With Prende, I feel like I have a better peace of mind and I have more control over my life. I really enjoy showing my OBGYN the patterns and my symptoms I logged in the app. I feel like my appointment goes much smoother and everything is really easy to understand. I feel like I'm being listened to.
Thankfully, I've learned so much about BV with Prende. And with Prende, I feel like I'm in good hands and I finally got some answers.